Hey everybody, we're here today at the Meadows Racetrack and Casino. The Heartland Poker Tour is starting up today. We're going to play event 1, which is a $10,000 guarantee, $150 buy-in tournament. We're going to go inside and get signed up, and the tournament starts in about a half an hour. I'll keep you posted. Alright guys, so we're on first break. So I got 18,200 chips right now. We started with 15,000 chips. Playing pretty tight, pretty basic ABC poker. There is one hand I had. We were on level 5, so a small blind was 200, big blind was 400, with a big blind ante of 400. So 244. So the guy under the gun +1 opens to 1100. I'm on the button. I look down. If any of you guys ever played on Poker Stars or watched some Twitch guys, I look down at the stars nuts. I have 2 black 9s, so I make the call. The small blind makes the call, the big blind folds. So there's 3 of us to a flop. The flop comes 7, 8, 6, rainbow. The small blind checks, under the gun +1, staring at me, giving me the evil eye, bets 2,800. I him and Ha already made up my mind. I'm calling. I've seen him play aggressively. He thinks he's the local pro at the table. He's the best player. So I just call 2,800. Small blind folds. The turn, glorious 5, giving me the straight. He's staring at me. He finally checks. I know he's got aces or kings. He's got a big pair, aces or kings. I him and haul around. I count my chips. I shuffle my chips around, and I finally look up at him, look down, announce all in, shove all my chips up. 11,000. I was right at 11,000. He instantly throws his cards down and says, "You got lucky." I scoop the pot and get back to, I was up to about 22,000 after that hand. So that was the only really notable hand of the first session. But yeah, he is definitely, he's on my hit list. I got to get him. All right, so the first hand right after the break, blinds are 500, 1,000, 1,000 ante, big blind ante. Under the gun player raises to 2,000. I'm right before the button. I look down at ace-6 of hearts. I elect to make the call, and the big blind calls. The flop comes all diamonds, checks around. I think that was a mistake on my part right there, not betting. But it checks around. The turn comes an ace. It's under the gun player, bets 1,500, and I decided to float. So I floated. I called 1,500. Big blind folds. The river comes a brick. Under the gun now bets 3,200. I sit there and I think a little while. I don't believe I have the best hand, but I've seen this guy, which I believe bluffed like 3 times earlier. So curiosity gets the best of me. I make the call. He turns over. It's like ace-4 of diamonds and flop the flush. So definitely should have been able to get away from that hand, but I didn't. Okay, so we're now on level 9. The blinds are 600, 1,200, $1,200 ante. I'm in middle position. I wake up with pocket 10s. The hand before this, I shoved and everybody folded, and I showed an ace. So I elected to shove with my pocket 10s. It folds around to the big blind, who hems and haws for quite some time, and then makes the call with pocket 8s, which this now puts us back into good position. The board all breaks out. We hold. We get a double up plus a small blind, so we're at 34,600. Shortly thereafter, we pay the blinds and we go to break with 30,000 chips. Not too bad. Not great, but not too bad. Okay, so after second break, we're at level 9. The blinds are 1,000, 2,000 with a 2,000 ante, and we are on the button. We're on the button. Under the gun raises to 5,000. Under the gun plus 1 calls. Middle position calls. 2 to my right calls. The guy on my right calls. I look down at King, Queen of clubs. When I was sitting there, I looked down at my King, Queen of clubs. My first instinct is I need to shove. I went through the blinds already. I got 20, I think it's 26 or 27,000 left in chips. My first instinct was I should shove. But now we got 5 people that called the raise. That's probably where I made a mistake, but I call 5,000. The small blind goes all in. He only had 5. He only had 4,000 left for 5,000 total to call, and the big blind calls. So we go 7 ways to the flop. The flop comes. The flop comes. The 9 of diamonds, Queen of spades, and the 2 of diamonds. So I flop top pair with the king kicker. So I got queens with the king kicker. Under the gun, checks. Everybody checks. It goes. They check around to me. I announce all in and put my last 24,000. Yeah, 24,000 in the middle. Big blind folds. Under the gun calls. Under the gun plus 2 calls. The rest fold. The turn is the king of diamonds. So now I have 2 pair. I'm already all in. Under the gun checks. Under the gun plus 2, she checks. The river is like the three of diamonds. So now there's definitely multiple diamonds. There could be a diamond flush out there. Under the gun checks. Under the gun plus 2, the old lady announces all in. The dude upsettingly hits the table and sighs, and then announces fold. He throws his cards in the middle. So the small blind, who was the first one to be all in, only had an ace. He did not have anything. So I had 2 pair, kings and queens, and the old lady had jack 10. So she turned straight. And we are out of that tournament. We went out in, it was either 38th or 39th position. There were 151 entries. We went out like, we're gonna call it 38. That sounds better than 39. And it paid the top 18. Very good tournament. Lots of really nitty players. Good tournament. I had fun. I'm gonna be back on Friday to try again.